So today I wanted to look at this idea of the ultimate spiritual practice. And I'm going to keep you in suspense for a little while to figure out what that is. You know, in Science of Mind, what we teach about spiritual practice is that, God does not require us to engage in practices of meditation or prayer or, these are not things that God requires. God doesn't require anything. God is God. Whatever spiritual practices we promote or that any faith tradition promotes is for the sole purpose of helping us to realign, awaken to, connect with that God nature that lies in each and every one of us. Since God is everywhere present, as we teach, including in us, then every moment in life, we have the opportunity to experience and express love, joy, beauty, wholeness, abundance. Those are all spiritual qualities that lie within us every moment that are there for us to experience and express. No matter what's going on out here, we can still bring love or joy or wholeness to any situation. However, I think the vast majority of us who are on the planet, I hope it's not just me, are still in the process of evolving and awakening to that essence of God's presence in us. And so we don't always feel aligned with it. We're not always expressing it to the fullest. That sense of separation from God that we may feel in certain areas of our lives is what gives rise to the fears and to the behaviors and to all the negative conditions in our lives or in the world. Because where we feel separate from God, that is reflected somehow in our lives and in the world. So we encourage different practices that help us to realize and remember that pure love, that goodness, that joy, that generosity, that beauty of spirit that lives in each and every one of us and that transcends anything out there in the world. So the practices of meditation, contemplation, prayer, study, working with our practitioners, being of service, tithing. These are all practices that we believe help us to reawaken and activate those aspects of God's nature that live within us. And as we engage in these practices, very often, we'll be uplifted. And sometimes we're even moved into just such a state of bliss, right? Sometimes when we're just prayed up, when we're just so full of that sense of love, we're just raised to that level of feeling a connection with that presence. But unfortunately, there's this and then factor that seems to happen. How often have we heard Dr. Mark, our leader, talk about, being so prayed up and feeling peaceful and just really full of love, and then stepping out into the world, and dealing with traffic or people in the store or whatever. What we would say is, in this teaching, we teach that heaven and hell are really just states of consciousness. They are not places that we go to after this world. Heaven is that state of consciousness that we can experience in this world and beyond, where we feel our oneness with God, where we're just in that sense of love and joy and wholeness. And hell would be those times where we feel separate from goodness, where we're in fear, we're in anger or resentment. And it's really amazing to me how quickly we can go from a state of heaven to the other in like a flash.